Too much muscle, what's it like? Coach Trevor's been almost 300 pounds muscular. Now right now he's about 240 pounds. But we were just having a conversation here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico with Daniel of HGH Dream Body about what it's like to get too big, because we're always talking about getting bigger, getting more muscular, gaining more and more muscle, but where's the limit? Is there such thing as being too big, and what are the drawbacks, Trevor? You've been there. Tell us what it's like.
So there definitely is drawbacks, and it got in, how did it even come up? We were talking about, I was talking just how one of the reasons, there was a lot of reasons I kind of lost the love for bodybuilding and competing and all that, but one of the smaller reasons was being at 280, you know, the biggest I ever was. I was telling him it's no different than being an obese person with muscle. And I say that nicely now, but
that's how it came up. We were talking about how uncomfortable it would be to be, you know, walking around. Chris Farley, we're like,
Chris Farley. We're talking about Chris Farley and his health, his depression because he's overweight. And I was talking about how it was disgusting to me being around other guys, you know, that size, having to listen to them breathe, just sitting down, breathing hard, sounding like they're snoring as they talk to you, right? And that was one of the things, but it made me realize I was one of those people that I thought was disgusting. It was gross. It was literally like being a very obese person that had big muscle, and you only look good to other guys. I mean, if that's your thing, that's cool, but that wasn't my thing. And if a girl doesn't think that's attractive and you're going after girls, but you think that's the ticket to it, when you're about that big, there's no benefits when it comes to the opposite sex, really, unless it's a girl that has some issues or truly loves you for, you know, who you are as an individual. With that being said, you could start from the morning on, you know, or going to bed. You can't breathe. You have a hard time breathing. You have sleep apnea. You snore. You can't get enough oxygen when you sleep. You wake up through the night. You have the worst, most uncomfortable sleeps you can ever think about. So you never get a good quality sleep. You're tired all the time. You'll fall asleep in mid-conversation with other people. You'll be talking to someone. You can't even keep your train of thought because of the lack of oxygen with so much muscle. That's this. And on top of that, your daily life, all right? You wake up. It takes you a while to get out of bed. Your body's aching. You go, and that's not even just from the gym. It's aching because of the blood and all that and the hormones and such. And you go, you take your shower. You have to wash your body. You have to use an extension. Going to the bathroom can be rough sometimes, especially if you had any pump whatsoever in your upper body and being clean like that. You go to put on clothes, and it's a hassle to put on clothes. You're out of breath, tying your shoes. You can't even tie your shoe. You have to sit down and do it with like a chair. There's literally anything you can think of that a very obese person would have. You have it. You go to bed. One, you can't breathe already. You have sleep apnea. But two, there is no position you can lay in that's comfortable because you lay on your side, your arms asleep. This right here is putting pressure between your bicep, your chest, your shoulder. Your hands fall asleep, your arms are always asleep, your legs are never comfortable. You put a pillow between your legs and they're out like this. Then you try and lay on your back, but your head's back, and now there's obstruction in your breathing, which you're already big and have sleep apnea, so you physically can't breathe while you're laying straight on your back. You try laying on your stomach, and then you can't put your shoulders up. It's impossible to put your shoulders up at that size. So you're doing different arm placements and turning all night, and you have sleep apnea. There's literally nothing that is good about it. The amount of food you have to eat, you're always bloated, you know, even when you eat clean, and you're always breathing hard. And that was one of the things I was telling him. It just disgusted me. And then when I see myself in the mirror as somebody that's disgusting to me, it was kind of like, what's the point? You know, girls at that point really don't think it's attractive.
Well, I would love to cross a lot of those bridges when I get there, but I haven't gotten to a lot of those places yet. But I have experienced some of it. Like I started at 170 and I'm 225, so I've, you know, you grow out the genes and you start walking a little different and all that. Like yesterday, got the haircut done, and there's this like fancy little, artsy little fucking place close to my house there. And they got these seats. Anyway, I couldn't hardly fit in the fucking seat. They had these things that was like stretched to sit in it. Actually, it was funny. The guy brought in another barber chair from this other salon. They do girls on one side, guys on the other. Anyway, brought in another barber chair. And I can just imagine, I'm 225. I'm like, what would the problems be like at 280? Like, you can't get in an airplane, all that. But, you know, I want the benefit of the doubt. I don't know, like, I feel like it would be fun to roll around the earth like a gigantic, ridiculous machine that just you shake your head at, nobody under fucking stands, and you don't even understand, you can't even breathe, you're just this fucking monster of a fucked up thing. Like, I don't know why I want that, but I do, and I'm gonna get it, goddammit. Right?
The airplane.
So I'm 220 pounds right now, and I actually experienced some of these things myself, like the arm numbness, what else? Sitting in a car or things like that, just the muscles when they get so pumped. That's the problem, is when the muscles get pumped, they get so big, and then it starts restricting the movement. And I know, guys, I don't look that big, and a lot of you guys are bigger than me, but for my structure and my genes, 220 is a little bit too big for my body. And I've got to compete at 200 pounds. So I'm not trying to get massive from where I'm at right now. I'm trying to, instead of being like a super lean 198 pounds, I'm trying to be like a super lean 205 pounds. And then I kind of think that's my limit as far as being comfortable. And then I work on, instead of just being bigger all around, I just focus on very specific things to bring up my body's symmetry, like my hamstrings or my upper chest, or making my triceps more three-dimensional. Things that don't add to the discomfort, but do add to the aesthetics of my body. Any other final comments before we close it out, Trevor?
One of the things you don't notice either, too, and it's not bad, but you're breathing too. You can hear yourself breathe a lot. You snore a lot at night and things like that.
I can't hear it unless it's pointing.
They hear it. You guys hear it. No, but the snoring, your snoring gets worse the more size you've been putting on, and your breathing. When you just sit there and you move around, you make a lot more noise, as opposed to, you know, when I first met you. So it does come apparent. Your body does adjust to a certain point, you know, when more red blood cells and things start, all that accumulation. But then the other thing is, too, you know, for most guys, and I know just about everyone, we talk about it, a lot of people want to look good for the opposite sex. And that's their main purpose, right?
Right.
And you get to that point, and it's almost impossible to perform. Like, at least to the full extent of what you could do.
What do you mean by performing?
And by perform, I'm talking about in bed.
Fucking throwing it down. You're like.
One, you're out of.
Your body gives out before you're.
Yeah, your body. I mean, your body can withstand it. You can do some crazy things, but you become out of breath. You get tired. You're profusely sweating, just trying to keep up with yourself. And you're trying to impress someone, and you physically can't do it without being this hog. You're breathing and sweating. It's disgusting.
I hate it when that happens. It's super unfortunate. You got to turn the air conditioner on and wipe the face off.
And now you talk about this. Now who's to say who's not going to come up and give her a better time, and why is she going to want to stay with you? Because you look good. It's not going to happen. So that was just my last 2 cents.
You gotta find those damaged good girls. Those ones that, you know, something's wrong with them. They need the crazy daddy complexes. They need, like, don't give a fuck about the skinny pricks. They just want big retards around.
Yeah, and then that's how you find your house burnt down and your car's keyed, and, you know, your brother or sister murdered. Same girl.
Nobody ever got murdered.
All right, guys, let us know what you thought about this, what you want to see in the future. Like, comment, subscribe, follow our journey around the world as we seek to become superhuman, or maintain our already status as superhuman. Be swell and swole, my friends of freedom, pioneers of human evolution.